Well, believe it or not, I am actively working on the ball joint mod again. I did shoot some video. I think I deleted it, but basically I sandblasted off all the rust, the neglect, and everything like that. So I was just mounting it up to take some measurements, and it dawned on me that at first I was thinking, oh, I need to shorten this spacer up. But the spacer fits nice. What it is I need to open the hole up, okay? The 320s, early 520s and 320s, that hole and the weight of the control arm and that stuff mounted onto the threaded portion, okay? The 521s and later, late 520s, that kind of thing, they mounted so they went through, and so that when the bolt tightened down, when the nut tightened down, it tightened down on the shoulder in the bolt, okay? Not pinching the arm between the bolt. Because sooner or later the bolt, pretty much rusts into the rubber, and if the rubber doesn't want to give enough for the movement, then it's going to potentially grab that nut, maybe loosen that nut. So what I'm going to do is, I think I have just enough here for the thickness of that. It'll be close. I think it's actually perfect right now. This is probably a little bit shy of the thickness of this, which means that when it does clamp down, it'll take up the last little bit of slop I have, which makes it easier to mount, and then it'll bottom out and everything will tighten up together. So my goal is to keep that space exactly the same, but I need to take some measurements and find out what size hole that needs to be. Looking at this, the inside hole is a little bit smaller than the outside one. I'm assuming that's because alignment's kind of a pain in the butt, but well, that's got to be pretty close. That's 0.717. Yeah, so there's roughly 10 thou of clearance there. All right, that's between 18 millimeter and 23/30 seconds. Okay, I got a feeling I don't have a 23/30 seconds anyway. All my stuff pretty much stops at ½ inch. Well, there's the 21/30 seconds. 23/30 seconds, no shit. No, that's not ground right. These are bits that got from my dad that he had for his lathe when I was a kid, and the relief was going the wrong way. Now I could do up to 3/4 in my drill doctor, but I'm kind of thinking I may just do it by hand right now to expedite it. I think that's certainly close enough for now. When you look at how much play is in the factory hole, I may get an 18 millimeter drill bit to make that mow better, but I think we're good to go. So I'll take a couple burrs off and go try it again. Yeah, it's seen some better days. So I put the bolt back in with the arm with it re-drilled, and the nut. Had to pull a nut off another scrap one laying around here. Anyway, so I tightened it up just enough that I can get it to move, but there is zero slop. Well, there's a tiny bit, but we're talking 50 thousandths maybe. Not even 1/8 of an inch, ½ an inch, 1/16 of an inch. Okay, so let's gotta love Harbor Freight for stuff like this. These are body shims, so whenever you need to like put a couple of washers in to get an idea, how far off your spacing is and that stuff, you can use these body shims as washers with the hole in it, because you can just slip it on. There's a bunch of different thicknesses here, but they all have the same bolt holes and that stuff. But I could, if I needed to get this up an exact amount, I could put them in there without having to take that on and off. So I think that'll do what I want. Alright, so in the down position, this is as low as it goes before it starts binding the upper ball joint. Okay, the lower one still has more room, more angle, but to get this truck any higher, to get the suspension any higher, for like a stock body, I have to bend this. Basically 26.5. Up to 31.5, allowing for a little clearance there. So what I want to do is I want to pick the suspension height basically halfway in between. And that'll be where it's at. And if guys want to go lower, they just put drop spindles on. So from there to there. Between 26.5 and 31.5, and I'm at 28 3/4. So that's pretty damn close. Okay, so if that's stock ride height, I want to put the tension bar in and see where we're sitting. Yeah, that looks like it. Alright, that should basically be ride height. It's not quite parallel with the lower cross member there, but it's a whole lot more than whole lot more than normal. I'd have to measure it. I'd have to have it get it back on a flat floor or whatever and check it. So I've got my caster dialed in where I want it. Camber set okay. I just checked the tension control rod, the length's right, so that means that mount is close enough to where it needs to be for now. And if you look at it, that's, like I said, that's at ride height. So that's all the way up, which is definitely above parallel. And that's pretty close to what you would see stock with an angle. So I guess basically, since this is in the middle, there's 4 inches of travel. Rats and guys. There's 4 inches of travel. And it's in the middle, so it's dropped 2 inches. Alright, and this is how I have the arms set up right now. As you can see, I had it way back further. I don't know what the hell I was thinking or looking at before, but so I moved it forward hoping to get the caster back where it was supposed to be. So now what I've done is I've shimmed it here. I put that shim in there just to make sure there was at least a 1/16 of room to go out when everything is done, you know, for an alignment differences in pickups. I could probably set that to take 2, but then I'm afraid that if most of the people need to go negative, then they'll start racking them up in there, and we'll see. I'll have to, you know, once I get the final prototyping done. Now, my other thought is I can't move this because of the rust. Actually, because of the weld bead. But what I think I'm going to do is I think I'm going to just set this to the inside edge, and then I'll make, where are we here? And then I will make it bump down off this piece, so I don't have to build anything else for bump stop. And if guys really need the extra room, they can cut that piece off. But this bump stop ought to work well. It'll be pretty hard, but you know, that's when you're extending, you know, when the truck lifts up and the wheel goes down. Down here, I think I've got enough room. I've got to dig it out and find it, but I've got a coned urethane one that I think I'll put in here. Actually, I may put the stock one in and see where it sits. Guys could just simply, you know, cut half-inch off that. This was one of the biggest issues. Okay, so I have the 720 or the 521 bolt in there. I had to grind the end there a little bit because of threads being damaged, not because of length. But as you can see, I am nowhere near. That was so close to hitting before. I mean, in some cases it actually rubbed the bolt and the nut. Because you figure, you know, there was a washer on the left side of this, and then the nut, and then the bolt would stick out a little bit past that. So that's against the wheel lock here. Everything's fine. I got tons of room. This is at full drop. Okay, let's go back the other way. I got sway bar clearance. I've got steering clearance. Everything's good, and this is further than it should go. It's probably more supposed to be around there. I don't have the setup on the other side for it to hit the wheel lock or the steering lock. So we're at ride height. Yeah, 3/4 of an inch clearance, easy. Okay, and previously, the reason I had to step the sway bar up on that mount there, I have to have some length of bolt here to get some swing, but it was down hitting my tie rod end. So no more issues with that. Sorry about the shaky camera. Just wanted to take too many angles to make it worth putting on the tripod. Okay, now let's put it all the way up. And all the way up, that could probably be get a little more clearance there by notching the frame. So I'll probably have to do that. I'll at least check into it. I may notch the arm because that'll be I don't want to damage the frame dimensionally, because I want to be able to reference a stock frame. So I'll notch the arm and try it again. But we've still got tons of clearance everywhere when it's all the way up. So damn near there. Inquiring minds want to know, and I'm just thinking out loud. Oh, like I explained with this, you know, moving it in to be on this bump stop, I'll do the same thing with this one, and there will be a second bump stop. That way I don't have to worry about this thing, you know, flexing one way or another when things start getting crazy. So I still need to more or less double check my bump stop, how big or thick a one I need in there. So let's see here. I need to redo the CAD so that I can get the cross shaft back to parallel, straight, and hold the ball joint over where I want it. So I'll have to redo the CAD work and make a test piece prototype for that. I'm going to need to make a couple other, I need to make another sway bar mount, because I need to do this and basically be able to put it on the other side. And I will put the drop spindles on and check it with the drop spindles. There shouldn't be any change whatsoever with that, because basically on a drop spindle, the ball joints and the tie rod ends stay exactly where they are, and they've just recast it and moved it so that the caliper mount and the spindle are actually just 2 inches higher. So since this is basically going to be a 2-inch drop to start with, you put drop spindles on, that's a 4-inch drop. Unless you're running some big tires, you're going to be dragging frame. Oh, I still got to figure out, I need to make these tie rod extensions.